So, I like to create crazy final events for my servers. I've ran events for Kuba's Modded Anarchy, Kuba's Infamy Recreated, and I plan to do one for every season of Kuba's Modded Factions. But no matter what server, what event, or even what modpack we're using, there is always one thing in common. And no, it's not the fact that I sometimes accidentally delete important footage and have to alter the presentation in the video, or sometimes scrap the video entirely, meaning Little Ponage never gets video credit for his Infamy Recreated Champion achievement. Whoops. No, the big overarching theme for every final event I have ever done and likely will ever do is that it is always the most scuffed event to exist in modern Minecraft, and the Season 1 finale was no different. But I mean, can you blame me when the battlefield literally looks like this during the final battle? It truly looks like the gods have descended upon the mortal realm and got upset that O0 ate the last Pop-Tart, which was meant for them as a social sacrifice. This unrivaled chaos eventually led the server to crash so hard it was unrecoverable. So you're going to want to watch till the end of this video to see the insane things that took place during this event. First things, as always, the event rules. Look, I'm not actually going to read the rules to you because, look, I would read them, but modern audiences have the attention span of a golden retriever, completely showcasing the evolution of the Bulmers and Cats gratification theory as your desperation for experiencing escapism from your grim reality builds and makes you forget even momentarily that you aren't happy. Look, let's not lie to ourselves, you have a dirty room right now and are struggling to form connections with people that feel genuine. Maybe you should look around and contemplate if what you're doing is really worth anything, but it doesn't matter. Kuba, that's my name by the way. Haha, funny repeating joke. All my worries about my reality are gone. Anyway, majority of the rules are what you'd expect anyway, but we did ban some of the more overpowered tactics like hypo-infusers and stack totems. Then during the fight, we also additionally informed players to not leave the ship, or fight, or build anything until I give the go-ahead. Actually, I wonder...
seriously?
Oh boy.
And I know it's you doing it, I stole your inventory.
Okay, well, I guess on that note... Of course, Little Ponage ignored this statement and got himself disqualified from the event. I'd lie and say this is also the reason the Infamy event has been uploaded, but we all know if I had the footage, I'd have posted it because content is content, damn it. With one notable player disqualified straight away, everybody grasped the reality of the situation and got ready to fight. Let me just open up the replay mod to get some fancy pants footage, and it's broken. Why is it broken? Don't pause while using the replay mod as it breaks files when using Forge. Oh yeah, that seems totally reasonable to me. Yeah, why not? Why not feature a pause feature in the game and then also just happen for it to not work? Come on, why does it even have a goddamn pause feature if it doesn't work? It literally corrupted my footage! Well, looks like the scuffed overtones started very early in this event, literally starting before the actual event. Fantastic, I'm sure this bodes well. Luckily, I was recording my screen, so we will have some footage of the final fight, which, honestly, I'm super thankful for because I'm super behind on videos anyway, so, we really couldn't have another delay. Within seconds of allowing people to PvP, Code Over Reality got the first kill slaying JLPN. I mean, before that, Wizard ate some bad bananas or something and got deleted, but we'll ignore that so he doesn't get too embarrassed. The battles around the arena raged like never before. Lasers, magic, and aerial jousting. Deaths started piling up left, right, and center, and the arena itself wasn't helping, as players soon discovered that the arena contained several environmental hazards, leading players to take extreme damage from multiple sources. But this was only the beginning of the chaos. I hadn't even enabled building yet. I typed the command and gave everyone a countdown. Within seconds, multiple nuclear explosives were set off, creating carnage, as the thunder of bombs echoed throughout the battlefield, spreading fear for all left standing. Well, for everyone except Joey Box. With multiple planets being absorbed into the abyss, players started becoming scattered. I started wondering who would be the final victor. Would it be one of our past winners, some of the famed runner-ups, or perhaps one of the new players? It was still anyone's game, but prior communications with the community made it seem like everyone expected Carbs to win. This was to be expected as Carbs and his right-hand man, Yeo, had been making huge showcases of their power throughout Season 1, but other players like Zed Graham and Connor's Mine were no pushovers. It truly was still anyone's game. The fighting continued, it was fierce and there was displays of power not seen before. All sorts of entertaining fights took place, and to be honest, I would have loved to show a lot more of them, but unfortunately I've only got the footage of my screen. Hopefully I'll be able to address this issue in the future by maybe not pausing the video, but come on, if there's a pause feature, you're gonna use the pause feature, am I right? I'm not crazy. If you see a pause button and there's nothing going on, you press the pause button, right? No? Okay, just me. That's I'm so sorry, replay mod. How could I ever question you, replay mod? This is why I don't use the replay mod. You gotta understand, can't you?
Look, Kuba, this is why your subscriber count is lower than other Minecraft YouTubers. Just use replay mode and stop complaining. Also, don't make another diss track about me.
With the number of players during the battle now being significantly lower due to all of the carnage and deaths, people were now struggling to run into one another in the large open arena. I enabled the world border, forcing players closer together, but some technical issues started arising. Let's just TP him out. Should that fix him? There you go, he's fixed.
Well, I don't think you set up the world border correctly, Kuba.
Did I not? Where is it?
It's in the middle, but everyone's outside of it still.
Wait, it is in the middle? I can't even see it. I'm not gonna lie to you, coach.
Yeah, Carb is currently outside of it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everyone's gonna get teleported to the sun then. With the world border failing for whatever reason, I decided to move everyone into something a little more extreme. I teleported every living player into the center of the artificial sun, which contained a final battle room, the cage. But Kuba, that's my name by the way, what is the cage? Well, let past Kuba explain this one. Yeah, the next teleport will be inside the cage, and the cage is, imagine that you've ended up in Europe. You went on holiday and you were like, you know what? Let's have a quick gander, see what Europe's like. And you went to your local club in Europe, and you had a good night. You had a real good night. You realized, wow, they close their clubs at 5 in the morning? Wow, that's so cool. And you go through, you walk out, you're like, wow, early morning, gonna have a good day today, gonna have a good night's sleep. And on your way home, bam, somebody grabs you, and you've been kidnapped, and you wake up in a basement. That's what the final cage is like. That's what the final cage is like.
I think I've got a better analogy. I've got a better analysis for this, or analogy for this. It is a real life simulation of a British Tesco's at 3 a.m.
Despite everyone now being in the cage, explosives continued to ravage the land outside. I mean, hell, I literally watched a planet get torn apart. All this building and repeating chaos started causing extreme lag for certain players. So much so that some players couldn't even move, and one player even had to disconnect and be disqualified. Don't mind me, just going to increase the scuffed level. Woo, damn, we are doing great on the scale today. We almost hit max scuffed already. The disqualified player was Yeoj is cool, meaning Carbs had now lost his ally. As his rage grew over the loss of his teammate, his friend, his lover, Carbs was now one hell of a fearsome contender. Angry with rage, he started shooting antimatter from a handheld launcher, causing infinite damage upon each hit. As the chaos increased, the lag got progressively worse until it even started affecting me, teleporting me back to the same spot over and over. It was a true show of how insanely powerful the players had gotten over the course of Season 1. The server was on the brink of collapse until it literally couldn't handle it anymore and forced itself off. Yep, modern Minecraft battles are so intense it literally makes the server unalive itself. After this, we had to wait for the server to load, but there was an issue with this. During the season, we discovered that Formcraft had an error loading something called aura caches, and this issue seemed to scale proportionally with the size of the world, and since our world was now up to about 300 gigabytes in size, the server startup time went from 2 minutes to over 30 minutes. But look, I wasn't going to try and force everybody to sit around for 30 minutes waiting for the server to start back up so we can continue the final fight. So I had like a big brain idea. I was like, okay, well the issue is Formcraft, well specifically aura caches from Formcraft, so how about I just go into the server files and delete the aura cache for Formcraft. Did that, the boot time didn't seem to improve, so I was like, okay, well, bigger brain solution. Clearly it's linked to the region data of the world, the larger the world, the bigger the thing. So all we really need is the players and like the final arena, so I'm just gonna hippity hoppity delete all of the world data and I'm sure it'll load perfectly fine. So about 40 minutes after that, I realized, oh yeah, the world's just not starting anymore, apparently I just bricked the entire server. So yeah, that was... I think that was definitely an indication of maximum scuffed. We honestly did it, and it slowly turned into the worst event I ever ran. However, there was a light in the darkness. Yeoj is cool. As explained previously, he was disqualified, but he wasn't very happy about it, and to be honest, neither were we as an admin team. But we had to try and keep things as fair as possible. We couldn't realistically pause the fight, and if Yeoj was there during the time that he was offline, it could have drastically changed the tide of battle. We didn't know who he could have killed or could have been killed by, what motions and events could have been changed. There were just too many things to consider to let him back into the event. However, the current situation with the 40-minute wait time, well, that gave Yeo an idea. He started mass producing memes about how he should be let back into the final fight, and I must admit, a lot of these were really fucking funny. And I won't lie, I have a soft spot for good on-topic memes. And I mean, hell, I previously ran a meme contest and even let some people play during the beta of Kuba's Modded Factions because they sent me a funny meme related to the channel. Listen, I'm not gonna say that I'll do anything for a meme, but like, come on, good quality memes are hard to come by nowadays. It's all just garbage now. So yeah, over the next 40 minutes, YeoJustCool slowly made me, the admins, and every player turn to his side using nothing but memes. Now, normally there would be no way I'd let somebody back into an event based on memes. However, with the server remaining down for so long, and Yeo only really being offline for about 5 minutes during the most laggy portion of the event, I decided to entertain the idea of returning him to the event, asking the remaining players whether they were all okay with Yeo being let back in. The players decided that they were going to get Yeo to make one last meme, and if it was good enough, they'd let him back into the event. But he had to base it off of the popular "where can I buy a frog, not for sexual reasons" meme. Within 20 seconds, Yeo had returned with this gem. Where can I get unbanned and unspectated? Not for sexual reasons. I am in the market for an unban/unspectate, but I don't really know who to ask. I would like to be around all the other players again, not for sexual reasons. Any information on who to contact is helpful, and thanks in advance for the people who supported me, Little Ponage, on my journey to acquiring my dream tag. Now look, I don't know whether it was the fact that we'd all been sitting in a Discord call for 40 minutes basically staring at static, or whether it was the fact that it was getting really late for everyone, but for some goddamn reason, we all collectively lost our shit. This was quite a mediocre meme, but it was so funny in the moment, every player agreed YeoJustCool was allowed back in the tournament. After this amazing victory, Little Ponage also attempted to get back in using memes, but it wasn't really the same. With the old world now irreversibly destroyed, I loaded a brand new void world and made a little barrier cage for the 4 combatants remaining, and each of them was as tough as they come. We had Joey Box, the lever puller, Zed Graham, the minion collector, Carbs, the predicted winner, and of course, the famed memer YeoJustCool. With the combatants now set, it was time to see who would win this final fight. Yeah, that doesn't really sound as good as Death Battle, does it? Yeah, okay, well, I can't really call it Death Battle. We're gonna stick with Final Fight. And so, the final fight begun. At first, everybody seemed evenly matched, fighting one another frantically. However, it wasn't long until Yeo pulled out the antimatter launcher. Joey Box stood no chance, dying instantly on impact. This was now an unfortunate situation for Zed Graham, as it was clear that the other 2 combatants would work together to defeat him. Carbs, remembering the anger he previously felt, was now relieved, happy he was back in the presence of his ally, his friend, his lover. And while he couldn't admit what he felt for Yeo, it was clear their love would surpass any challenge, no matter how ultimate it might be. They could get through it all as long as they were together. While Yeo fought Zed one-on-one, Carbs created a machine to trap Zed, allowing them to finish the fight in peace. While the 2 felt confident in this plan, doubt started creeping into Yeo's head. As he was fighting Zed, he heard my words. There can only be one Season 1 champion. If anyone tries to pull any Hunger Games style BS, I'd simply give the win to the runner-up. While Carbs was certain that his love would surpass all, Yeo did not feel the same. Yeo instantly turned on Carbs, stopping him from completing the machine. A ferocious battle broke out, with Zed and Yeo now working together to try and put Carbs into the ground. As Yeo's betrayal started to fully sink in, Carbs' anger grew even further. The man he called his friend, the man he backed up, the man he fought for to have back in this fight after being disqualified, and most importantly, the man he called his Minecraft boyfriend, had turned on him. In pure anger and sadness, Carbs pulled out his antimatter launcher, quickly matched by Yeo, sending blinding white explosions at one another, each dealing massive damage. Zed stood back and watched this brutal fight between friends take place. But this quickly proved to be a mistake. As the other 2 fought, and Yeo took his time reloading, Carbs managed to place down a new trap, which worked on both Zed and Yeo. With both players now pinned down and being stripped of all of their items in their inventory, Carbs confidently stepped back, took aim, and shot an antimatter cell to end the fight. Or so he thought. While Zed perished in the explosion that followed, Yeo managed to survive. And not only that, the sheer strength of the explosion ripped Carbs' trap apart, freeing him. Yeo was not going to let this opportunity slip, instantly jumping in, attacking Carbs, sending blows back and forth between the two. However, as time went on, it was apparent that the fight would last a very long time, as each combatant had thousands of revival items remaining. This fight would literally last for days if we let it, so Meatman and I removed the revival methods from each combatant. With this action performed, all it took was one well-placed shot, and as the explosive white light engulfed the arena, only one man was left standing. Yeoj is cool. Not only had the man come back from disqualification, he literally stole the whole show, Carbs' inescapable trap, and even managed to win the whole event. And all this from a man who just made some goddamn memes. And with that performance, Yeo joined the Kuba server champions that were there preceding him. But this is not the last champion to be added. Kuba's modded factions had a very successful Season 1. In fact, it was way more successful than I could have ever predicted. With that being the case, Season 2 has officially released, and who knows who the next champion will be. It could even be you. So check out the links below and join us. Alright, that's all I got. See you guys in the next video!